Hello everyone and welcome back to the CO2 Rundown. I'm your host Chad Owens. I hope you all had an amazing weekend. I hope you got a chance to relax and recover because today we've got a very special show for you guys. It is NFL Draft Week and we are going to be doing the CO2 Rundown's mock draft. And to help me with that is the Honolulu Star-Advertiser sports editor Curtis Murayama, who is here. We're gonna really focus on the top 10 picks, but we're gonna give you the full rundown of all 32 picks. Let's dive on in to the CO2 Rundown. All right, let's jump on into this thing. I'd like to first again introduce you to my co-host and special guest today from the Honolulu Star-Advertiser, sports editor Curtis Murayama. Look, man, I'm just gonna say that you're the NFL sports expert. You okay with that?
Oh, I'll take it. I wish I could go to Vegas and really capitalize on that expert stuff.
Look, Curtis, I can't help but notice the San Francisco 49ers aloha shirt.
Oh, you think?
Are you a 49ers fan?
Yeah, kind of. What do you think? Big time. All the way back when NFL wasn't on TV.
Wow.
Yeah, and only was on the radio. That's how I became a sports fan.
You can't give away the age like that.
That's all right, man. They know.
Chill.
You can look at me and they'll know.
Look, man, thank you so much for joining us today. We're going to go over this mock draft. I know this is sort of your expertise. You're a huge football fan. I know you're an Oregon Ducks fan as well.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming you're a Marcus Mariota fan.
Sure.
Who isn't from Hawaii?
Yes.
Right? But look, we're going to focus on the top 10. Mm-hmm. I know you got your 32 picks. I know you've got a few wrinkles here in the top 10. We sort of talked about this prior to. So look, we're gonna do this. I'm gonna start, right? I'm gonna go with pick 1. We'll talk about that. You'll go with pick 2, and we'll just take our time and sort of discuss, have a good chat, talk football. Cool?
Cool.
All right. I hope you guys are ready because CO2's pick just came in. Da-da-da. Is that the sound? What's the sound they make on draft day?
Yeah, it's nice.
It's some kind of jingle.
Yeah.
Look, as you can see behind me, the Jacksonville Jaguars helmet, that's my actual helmet from my time playing in Jacksonville. I got drafted back in 2005 by the Jacksonville Jaguars in the 6th round. So look, I got to show them some love because they got the number 1 pick. All right, and my pick in this year's draft, the number 1 overall, it's no secret. He's the top-rated player in the draft, top-rated quarterback in the draft. Clemson's quarterback, Trevor Lawrence. He's the poster child, Curtis. What are your thoughts on Trevor Lawrence?
Well, he's been would have been the number 1 pick last year. So he's probably been 2-3 years, he's been a prodigy, right? 6'6", got a great arm, really fast, really mobile. Good leader, good person on the field, good, off the field, everything about him. Everybody liked him. So that's a solid pick. I can't go wrong.
Yeah, no, for sure. But I don't know. I watched him in that semifinal game.
You mentioned that, yes.
Yeah, and I saw him, get affected by the pressure. I saw him get affected by, making a mistake, and then pressure, and then making another mistake, and then he started pressing. And the throws wasn't coming out as smooth. See, football, as you know, Curtis, any athlete, it's all about confidence. Yeah. I was there, right? I had my opportunity in the NFL, and I messed up because I cracked under the pressure. Right, I had the worst game of my football career as a rookie in Jacksonville against Indianapolis Colts. I'll never forget it. Right, first time ever playing in a dome. Mentally, I wasn't in it, and it showed. So, yeah, I mean, give the guy a break, right? He's lost what?
Two games,
basically,
yes.
In his whole life. I think he's been undefeated as a kid all up until this point.
Yeah.
So he is that dude.
Right.
He's got the swag. He's got the aura. He's like you talked about, the humbleness. He's a leader. He's everything you as a franchise you want in your quarterback.
Yeah, and that's the reason why Urban Meyer, Ohio State coach, former Ohio State coach, that's why he came back. He was in retirement. He's coming back now. When you have a quarterback like that, you have the number 1 pick, you think you got someone who's special, why not come back? Plus the money he's getting paid, of course. But Trevor Lawrence is, I think, a special guy. All the years I've been looking at quarterbacks, I thought he was like the closest thing to John Elway. Elway back in 1983.
Okay.
So
I was one. Cool.
Yeah, yeah. He's in the Hall of Fame now. So
here's an interesting stat. Sorry to cut you off, but I actually played for John Elway.
Oh yeah.
In 2008, he was the owner of the the Colorado Crush.
Oh.
That was the arena team in 2008 when I was there.
Oh.
I had a chance to meet him. Yeah, super cool. But anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do you think? I mean, the Jacksonville Jaguars, they haven't had a franchise guy like this dating back to. I mean,
Brunel.
You don't think Byron Leftwich was a franchise guy? He was there for a good number of years.
Yeah, but they don't have a winning culture throughout the years, and that's the thing, right? Because the market itself is not a big market, right? So they don't have that winning culture, but I think he could change that. He could be on the way. Urban Meyer, the coach, and Trevor Lawrence, the quarterback, could be, changing things, and hopefully that is, because that community would be good.
Oh yeah, Duval County.
Duval.
I live there. It's an amazing community, and they love their Jaguars, and they are definitely getting, the best player in the draft. So good luck to them, and good luck to Trevor Lawrence. So that's my number one pick. You got the number 2.
I got Steven Side's favorite team here. New York Jets.
The New York Jets.
Yeah, New York Jets number 2. They traded their quarterback, Sam Darnold. So he was the guy who was drafted in 2018, number 3 overall.
A few years ago, yeah.
So he was like their franchise guy, but it didn't work out. Now they have a new coach, Robert Saleh, who came as a defensive coordinator from the 49ers. So I think they want to reset. That's why they changed quarterbacks. Now they're going to draft a guy from BYU. Ooh. Do you want to hear that? Okay, that's a bad word, right?
BYU who?
Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
Yeah. But Zach Wilson's the quarterback. He's very twitchy, very athletic, very skilled, can make all those throws. It looks like a little chip on the shoulder. Looks like a little arrogance to him. He's a very good-looking guy.
A little Baker Mayfield, Johnny Manziel, kind of a mix.
Yeah. With that kind of arm, he has a better arm than Johnny Manziel for sure, and Baker's arm is really good.
Yeah.
But he's 6'2", and he can run. He's quick, and he's everything. And then they like him in New York, so I think that's the pick for the Jets, because of course they have no quarterback, so they have to get one.
Right. But I mean, where did Zach Wilson come from? Like, it was Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields.
Yes.
That's the only 2 quarterbacks you were talking about all season long, basically. And then here comes combine season.
Yeah.
You got Trey Lance in the mix now. Mac Jones. It's like, where did this guy come from?
Like what happened from the end of the season to all of a sudden now? That's why they call it the draft process, when they go through interviews and stuff, Zoom meetings and they hold their own pro days. So sometimes some teams, some guys hold 2 pro days. Justin Fields had 2 pro days, right? Mac Jones has had 1, I think, and Trey Lance had 2 pro days. And the second pro day is geared to, let's say, the 49ers. What kind of stuff they run, what kind of schemes they run, what kind of offenses they run. So that, what has changed is, I think, the draft process, and they get to evaluate these guys and get to see them, get to talk to them and stuff like that. Because if you're just looking on his record, Zach played like 5 teams that might have won like 10 games, right, or so, in his career, and he hasn't beaten them, including Hawaii. Hawaii beat him. He was the one who, I think, tried to dive over and fumbled at the goal line. So, but from what I've seen,
that happened when I was playing as well.
Yeah.
Right. I think it was it Doman?
Yeah.
You see the quarterback time?
Brandon Doman.
Boom! Fumble at the goal line.
Yeah.
Right. BYU, you got to be smarter on the goal line. Anyway, you talked about scouts and teams getting to host, and have more specifications when it comes to this player on this particular pro day. And that's what it is. It's like every franchise has a mold that they're looking for, a certain character, right? A certain type of player. There's a bunch of quarterbacks in this draft. There's a bunch of top tier prospects,
Mm-hmm.
but do you fit the mold of the team, right? Because at the end of the day, that's what it's about. Every single team that I've been on, this is our culture. You know, no one guy is going to come in and like, okay, we're going to change the culture. No, we have a culture. We have the way we do things. Do you fit what we do, and can you elevate within that culture?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
So that to me is why Zach Wilson is going to the Jets. It feels as if he's the guy that fits their mold.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yep. All right. Look, we're gonna move on. All right. I got number 3, and this pick, the San Francisco 49ers. We're gonna talk about this. This is also my son's favorite team.
Smart kid.
This is probably the most anticipated pick. I was going back and forth with this pick, but I'm gonna go with Justin Fields. I'm gonna go with Justin Fields. I thought Justin Fields outperformed Trevor Lawrence, which he did in that game. Like, he looked like the best player in football ever in that game. Battle, toughness, going through injuries. And this kid is extremely humble. I watched him, my son's a quarterback as well, so we watched the QB1 Netflix show. I watched him go through his high school, go to Georgia, and end up, Ohio State. But through and through, the same guy. I got to look at his upbringing through that QB1, his parenting, how just everything is about discipline. I believe his father was in the military or a former military, so very disciplined and just a great upbringing. But I think, and that's why it's like, we talked about this too. The draft, it's about controversy. Everything, they want controversy. They want to build these ratings, which is great. But yeah, I got Justin Fields going to the Niners. I know you got a different opinion. I want to hear it and why. You even talked about, you believe that there's a trade. I'd like you to share that.
Yeah, I don't see a trade. I think this is the pivot point of the whole draft.
So this
pick is going to determine what other teams do. This is the pivot point, because the guy I'm projecting to be a pick is Mac Jones, right? Mac Jones is the guy that your coach June Jones liked. June Jones liked Mac Jones as
maybe
the best
the last
quarterback.
name Jones.
Okay.
Maybe that's that's why.
Yeah. But he liked him as the best quarterback in this class. Accuracy down the field, accuracy all over the place, smart, anticipation throws. He can move a little. He can move within the pocket, because Tom Brady can't move, right? Tom Brady can move inside the pocket. Drew Brees could move inside the pocket. They had the awareness of stepping up, stepping to the side, all of a sudden they had an instinct inside the pocket, and that's what he might have. And I think, well, this is my opinion, but I think the coach, Kyle Shanahan, I think he's pretty much a pretty good eagle, and says, you run my plays. You don't freelance and break the structure of this play. I designed this play, you run this play.
So are you saying that Mac Jones is more disciplined than Justin Fields?
No, but I think he has probably a better, quicker release. I read somewhere, I think it was in the Pro Football Focus, he said from snap to release, Justin Fields has like second slowest release time. Maybe it's because of the long, range of motion. So, and another thing I also read is that as far as pass plays and sacks taken, Fields would get sacked like every 12 pass plays. And Jones, every 33.
But hold on now. Hold on now.
Yeah.
He's at Alabama.
Yes, he is.
He's basically playing with an NFL O-line.
He is playing with an NFL O-line.
That's not fair.
Yeah, and
NFL
so
I think you need to take those things into consideration as well. Hey, like, we'll see. Like, hey, a little bit more mobility in Justin Fields. Overall arm strength, I think is more.
Mm-hmm.
QB IQ, I think it's, all these guys are all right there.
Yeah.
Right? So But we'll see. Like, yeah, this
pivot point, turning point of this draft.
Okay.
Because if the Niners take Mac Jones, that means Trey Lance,
Justin
and
Fields.
Justin Fields are available still yet. They're on the market. So you're going to see guys calling for the number 4 pick. Or
to make some trades, to move up.
Yes, to move up. And number 4 is Atlanta.
Yeah, which is your pick.
Yeah.
So let's move on to the 4th pick. So who you got at number 4 with the Falcons?
Well,
I think we're pretty much the same here.
Yeah.
Right. He's the top rated pass catcher in this draft.
I think Atlanta is asking for a lot. So if Denver comes calling, he says, I'm going to want 2 first-round picks or something, or if Chicago or Washington or New England calls, Atlanta probably will say, I don't want to drop back that far, because I think New England is number 15. I think Chicago was number 19 and Washington's number 20. They don't want to go from drafting number 4 to drafting that late.
Oh, no.
So probably the closest one might be Denver. And Denver probably said, well, we got 2 quarterbacks there, right? You got Justin Fields and Trey Lance. One of them might come to us, so I don't want to trade with you. And because of that kind of thinking, we agree on this one. We think Atlanta will take tight end. Yep. The tight end from Florida. So
Kyle Pitts.
Yeah, Kyle Pitts, and he is the.
Curtis, what makes him the best pass catcher in this draft?
I think because he's a freak of nature, maybe because he's a receiver, but he's 6'6" and 245 pounds. So he
can run.
Right. He ran like a 4.4. So, and they were saying that he didn't drop a pass this whole season. So, and all the guys, when you see him on tape and you see videos of him, the guys he's beating are all SEC top picks.
Top defenders.
He's beating all those guys. There's a Joseph kid from Kentucky. He's beating him and stuff like that. So, and just J.C. Horn from South Carolina. He beats those guys. He beats the Alabama guys. And in fact, after Alabama beat Florida, Nick Saban says, well, we couldn't cover number 1 in '84. Number 1 was Kadarius Toney, a receiver, and number 84 was Kyle Pitts. So basically, he's acknowledged that guy was uncoverable. Undefendable, basically. So.
Yeah. I agree, and I mean, this could be one of those guys that goes into the NFL, right away becomes the top tight end in the game. You got Kelsey. Who else?
George Kittle. Yep.
Right? There's a bunch of great tight ends, but not 6'6" running 4.4.
Yeah. So he's basically a receiver, and a lot of people consider him like the best player in this draft, the best prospect. So how can you not take the best prospect? He was there at number 4.
Yeah.
So I think it's somebody you got to take. So,
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely. I agree.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Let's move on now. It's on me, right?
Mm-hmm.
Look, number 5. Okay, this is your guy, right? Sewell. The Bengals are at 5, and I'm going with offensive tackle Penei Sewell.
Penei Sewell.
Penei Sewell.
Yes.
Excuse me. Yeah, you're an Oregon guy. You know all these guys, right? You know every guy on that roster.
His 2 brothers are at Oregon.
Yeah. The Bengals. I think the Bengals need help.
Yes.
In a lot of areas, but definitely on that line.
Yeah. They actually need help in the receivers too, because they lost 2 of their guys. AJ Green left, and also John Ross, who was a first-round pick just a few years ago. He's gone, but they drafted like T. Higgins in the 2nd round, and he was good. Good for them.
You think they could take a receiver?
They could. Let's say if Pitts is there, for some reason. Let's say if Denver does trade to number 4. And Pitts is all of a sudden there. You might want to take Pitts. You also might want to take Jamar Chase, who was Joe Burrow's teammate, kind of thing.
That's what I'm saying. So there's a lot of scenarios, right? That's what's exciting about this.
But I think because Joe Burrow got hurt, and everybody
Franchise, man.
and everybody blamed the offensive line. It's kind of like you have to protect him. That's the first thing you do, protect him.
Yeah, and don't you find that amazing that the fans, the people, you can almost like influence, you know, who they want, who you know, because they're gonna listen. They're gonna listen to the fans. They're gonna listen to the people.
Yeah. I wish the 49ers would listen to their fans, and then they wouldn't take Mac Jones. No.
So sorry to go back, but who do you want the 49ers to?
I kind of want to gamble on Trey Lance, to tell you the truth.
Yeah, I didn't get to ask you that because that was my pick. So you want Trey Lance? You got Trey Lance at the 49ers?
No, I got Mac Jones.
Oh yeah, that's right. You said Mac
Yeah,
Jones, but you want them to take a chance and go at Trey Lance.
Yeah. Take a chance with Lance, yes.
Take a chance with Lance.
Yeah.
Hey, so this is your team, Oregon. Talk to us about Sewell.
Well, he was a stud as a freshman. Yeah. And then I remember when he got hurt his knee in one of the games. The running game went down the hill. Nothing. And that was the reason. And then last year, I think they were playing Utah in the Pac-12 championship 2 years ago. Pac-12 championships. Big underdog. Utah wins, they're in the Final Four. That's how close, because Utah was there. All they had to do was win that game. They're a favorite to do so. And Utah had this great rush, and they couldn't get to Justin Herbert. And the running game for Oregon just took off and stuff like that. And then realizes, oh, no wonder, because they couldn't rush from that left side because Penny Sewell was there, basically. He's just shut down that whole rush on that side of the line.
The blind side, right?
Yeah.
That's why those guys get paid the big bucks.
Yeah.
Right? You need a guy. Because the last thing as a quarterback is to have to worry about that right there.
Yeah.
Right? And that's why that's a top, next to a quarterback, I think offensively, receivers, but if you got an opportunity to get a guy like Sewell, that's what you're going to go, right?
Yeah. So that was pick number 5.
That was 5.
So
you're on 6.
I go 6, and that's Hawaii's new team now, right? Because Tua's there. So number 6, the Miami Dolphins are picking, and we still have Jamar Chase there.
Yep.
So Jamar Chase is going to be the pick of the Miami Dolphins. And if you watch any Miami games, and I watched a lot of them, and said, man, they need some weapons. They don't have a running back. The receivers are only okay. You know, who is Tua throwing to? I guess that tight end, Mike Gesicki. You know, but other than that, you know, I think they really need some weapons. So I think
agree.
Jamar Chase.
I agree.
Would be,
and the thing about this scenario is, this is a guy that didn't play this year.
Yeah.
He opted out,
Mm-hmm.
right? And he was the Blitnikoff winner last year. He was the best receiver in the nation last year.
Yeah.
And dude sat out a whole year and basically has been training this whole time. So the body, having not played a season, the body is healthy,
Mm-hmm.
right? He got to just get that much better, that much more prepared for this. But why is Devonta Smith not a thought process? I mean, I picked Chase as well, but former teammate of Tua at Alabama. They had that connection in the national championship game. Was it 3 years ago?
Mm-hmm.
Right? That was his comeback win.
Yeah.
It was to Devonta Smith.
Yeah.
So could that be a possibility? Could that be, or you think the Dolphins, if Chase is available, they're all over that?
You got to take Chase. Chase is bigger. You see, Devonta Smith is 166 pounds.
Maybe.
Yeah. So, and Chase is like close to 200 pounds. And Chase is 6 feet. And Chase proved that he was the man because in the championship game against Clemson 2 years ago, 221 yards receiving. He was beating up the Clemson cornerback who was drafted in the first round. So Chase was beating first round guys, you know. So, and I think he's got great hands, got good speed.
Great routes. I've watched his film.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, he's definitely the top receiver in the draft.
Yeah.
You know, under Pitts.
Mm-hmm.
But Pitts just presents just that freak of nature, size, and
Yeah.
everything. But as far as pure receiver,
Yeah.
Jamar Chase is that guy.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And you're right. The Dolphins do need to add a few more pieces to help Tua, and I'm looking forward to watching Tua this year.
Yeah, 1 year under the belt as a starter or a quarterback for the Dolphins in the NFL, and not having to worry about who might be on his shoulder, looking over his shoulder to see a Fitzpatrick there or anything like that, and 1 more year of being healthier.
Yep. And that's what I was just going to say. He's 1 more year from that surgery, and his hip's stronger, and he's got the confidence because he played last year. He got he's got his feet wet.
Yeah.
So it's on me now, right?
Yeah.
7. Hey, I'm bad with numbers, so you gotta keep me on track, Curtis. All right. The Lions had the 7th pick, okay, and I got Jalen Waddle.
Excellent pick. Excellent pick.
I got my notes here. They have to replace Kenny.
Yeah, Kenny Galladay.
Yeah.
Receiver there. So
and he is the fastest receiver in the draft. Right?
I don't know. He never ran a 40. That's the part. He broke his ankle during the season.
Well, he's got that speed.
Yeah,
and Jared Goff, right? Who the Rams traded, right?
Yeah.
Just to provide him with that elite speed.
Yeah, yeah.
A quarterback always wants that guy that can blow the top off. And speaking of blowing the top off, this is going off topic a little bit, but Desean Jackson is still one of the fastest players in the league. And he's still doing that. I thought about that, blowing the top off. When I think of that receiver, I think of Desean Jackson.
Yeah, well, Desean Jackson was about 170 pounds when he came out. So there. But he was a 2nd-round pick, though. So, but
I think he's more explosive.
Freaky.
He's more of an explosive player, though, than Devontae Smith.
Yeah.
I mean, they have similar attributes in that they're both thin, skinny, fast, game breakers, but Desean Jackson, I love that dude because he's persevered through a lot, injuries, trades, here bouncing around, but he's still through and through just a dog. And that's just a great representative for a lot of these young receivers coming in. That you look at a guy like that, that's been around for as long as he's been around. Hey, that's a good guy to sort of like not necessarily emulate, but you can learn a lot from someone like that. That's someone you want to become a friend with, to talk to, and as a veteran player in the league, that sometimes it depends the type of person. Yeah. Right. Vets. If you're helping out a young guy, you basically grooming a guy to take your job. That's why there's that little bit of like, some guys are like, nah, bro, you gotta put in your own work, bro. You got there's that atmosphere there. It's so competitive because it is. I'm not gonna let you eat off my plate. I've earned this right to have this plate. You gotta start over there with the appetizers, man. You can't just come get this. Yeah. Right. So there's that dynamic in pro sports too, which I was on both sides. Yeah. But I was never a guy that was like, if a young guy came and asked me for help, I was like, nah. I always provided, knowledge and stuff. And the young guys pushed me. They pushed me every single training camp to show up and to prove that I'm still the best.
You want to stay young. That's the way to do it,
stay
really.
Young, man, from young.
So anyway, going to Waddle.
Sorry, we got off topic there.
No, that's right. I talked to this NFL scout who's been helping me for decades anyway, but he had a connection with Alabama. He said Henry Ruggs was the fastest, #1 pick for the Raiders last year at number 12, right? Jerry Jeudy ran the best routes. Yeah, Jeudy was the #1 pick of the Denver Broncos last year, I think number 15 or 16. Then he said Jalen Waddle, most explosive.
Yeah, and he was injured. Yeah, for most of this past season.
Yes,
right?
He broke his ankle trying to return a kickoff or punt. And not to mention, Vonta Smith had the best hands. So that's how you. Yeah. That's how the Alabama guy talked about those 4 guys.
An NFL team. I'm gonna ask you this, because this question gets asked a lot. Could an elite level Alabama team compete with an NFL team? That topic gets brought up.
I would say yes, but there has to be the worst NFL team, right? And
Well, Jacksonville Jaguars before Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, maybe you might say, because they have defensive backs who are going. One guy going to be in the first round, defensive tackle who's going to be in the first round, offensive lineman. You know, if they're healthy, one would be in the first round possibly. A quarterback in the first round, the running backs in the first round, the receivers are all in the first round. So that's like an all-star team. However, the NFL game is much different. So on game day, you have 46 players in the NFL.
Yep.
So you go to Alabama and says, okay, you choose 46 now. You can't choose from 8 men gonna take it easy. So in that
dynamic.
case,
but I had to ask because
no.
Alabama is just it's the farms. They're just man, year after
it's a farm
year,
system.
man. It's a system, and they're just You want to go to the NFL? You got some talent? You know, go to Alabama.
Yeah. But I think in general, I think the NFL team would smoke the college team.
It would be interesting though.
Yeah.
Okay, we're at 8. I think it's on
Carolina.
you, right? We got the Carolina Panthers up.
Yeah. Carolina Panthers. I think I had Rashawn Slater of Northwestern. Do I have them?
Yeah. Is that your guy?
Yeah, I think so. I think they need an offensive lineman. They could entertain thoughts of getting a quarterback, even if Darnold's there.
They got Darnold.
Yeah. So I think, you could many directions on this one. They still could use a receiver, right? They have two good receivers. DJ Moore's one side, Robbie Anderson. They got good receivers. So,
great running back.
Christian McCaffrey.
Right.
So it's
too
a
bad
great running back.
He got injured.
Yeah. So they have that, and I think that what they might be lacking is offensive linemen. So if, let's say, Penei Sewell all of a sudden gets passed up, then he could be in that number 8 slot, So Rashawn Slater could be in that 8 slot. So I got a lot of different directions. But
could they take a quarterback? Could they take Trey Lance?
Well, another position that they're looking at, cornerback. So there's one in South Carolina, J.C. Horn. That's who I like, actually. I think J.C. Horn.
You changing your pick?
I'm going to change right now. It's just like a mock draft changes like every second almost. In my mind, when you're trying to do one, then you say, I changed my mind. No, I don't like that. And then
you just talk yourself out of it.
Yeah, talk yourself out of it. So I think I'm going to change my mind. J.C. Horn would be the pick for me. He's the cornerback for South Carolina. Kind of a cocky guy. And he's
South Carolina Gamecocks, right?
Yeah. He's the son of Joe Horn, who was a receiver for the New Orleans Saints. New Orleans Saints.
Oh, Saints. That's
he was the guy. He might be on YouTube videos.
Did he his career at the Rams?
He might have, but he's the guy who he hit a cell phone inside the upright of the goalpost in the padding, and when he scored a touchdown, he went in there and took it out and to the cell phone.
Back when celebrations was wild. Terrell Owens, all that stuff they were doing.
Yeah.
But I love talking about celebrations. I love that the NFL has embraced it.
Yeah.
That's what makes the game fun. And at the end of the day, Curtis, it's entertainment.
Yeah.
Right? People pay to get entertained. People love the celebrations. They even have the celebration cam now. Right? They got the celebration cam. Everyone's, all the whole squad up, dances, and I'm just happy that they've embraced it. Because it's part of the game. If you're not having fun, right?
That's why it was a no fun league at one. That's what the NFL stood for. Besides not for long, this was a no fun
Tuck
league.
your shirt in. Put your socks in. It's like, as an athlete, I've always felt like look, man, game days, we put in countless hours. We sacrifice so much. We put our bodies through so much. And then on game days, that's our chance to transform into a superhero. To be, we are in our eyes because if we were to go into a football locker room on game day, everybody goes into that mirror and is like making sure everything is, everything is right to their eye, to their specs. And And that's what it's about. You turn on for that day. You look good, you feel good, you play good. And Deon said, you play good, they pay good. So let these guys look good, feel good, have fun, play good, so they can earn their money.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's move on. Where we at?
Number 9.
The Denver Broncos.
Oh.
This is where it's at.
Yeah.
Right? And I got them picking QB, Trey Lance.
Okay. It's because you have Fields gone. That's right.
Justin Fields.
That's
Justin
right.
Fields
you
is,
took. Yeah.
But it could be reversed.
Yeah.
Right? If for some reason the 49ers took Mac Jones or the 49ers took
Trey
Lance,
yeah.
then the Broncos.
I think it's perfect. Perfect. It's cold weather, that kind of, Rocky Mountain. I think that's a perfect place for him. Oh, besides the 49ers. But, it's good. The only thing is that he's so raw that he probably will have you don't want him developing bad habits or losing confidence at that young age.
Yeah.
But then
he'd be a guy that'd be plugged in. Right?
I don't know.
Right away?
No, I think he's a little raw for that because 17 games at that level where he's played against the Central Arkansas of the world, that division, that's going to be a pretty tough one. But, if you're drafting 1, 2, or 3 and you pick him there, okay, you might say, he deserves to be in already. But this one's 9. And you have Drew Lock.
This is number 9 in the first round.
Yes.
I mean, dude's playing. Yeah. Like he's gonna play, right? Because they need a guy.
They do. They have Drew Lock's the quarterback now, but they fell out of favor with him because he has the lowest completion percentage of all quarterbacks. So
they're gonna say, he's gonna come in, he's gonna learn, they're gonna compete, gonna be competitive at camp. That's what they always say. But they're looking for a franchise guy.
Yeah.
And it's something about that new blood that comes in that gets the rest of the teammates excited, and especially when you can come in and be a guy again that grasps the culture.
Mm-hmm.
And
he's good.
I think he's good, man. Again, he's another young guy that out of where? From where?
Yeah.
And Combine, showed up.
Yeah.
Who is this guy?
Yeah.
He's 6'5"?
6'3".
6'3"?
Yeah.
He looks 6'5".
Yeah. He's playing against that lower level competition. That's right, North Dakota State. So, but like I said, he's really young. He's only had 17 starts. By the way, same amount as Mac Jones, 17 starts.
Yeah, 1 year, man. 1 year. One and done. Like that's all. Guys, kids, look, sometimes it's all you need. All you need is, sometimes it's really, you just need that one play. That one play that makes them go, wow, do you see that? Mm-hmm. Rewind. That's all you want. Hey, so you just need that one shot.
Yeah, actually, that's what Mac Jones lacks. You don't rewind, and look and says, can you believe he did that? You don't do that. You see that with Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, all that stuff. Lamar Jackson. You see stuff, you get the wow.
Yeah, but Mac Jones is like, he's just the technician of just does everything right. Nothing fancy.
Nope.
Right? He's like what, Tom Brady?
Yeah, that's what they say.
Who's 40 is faster?
Oh, he's faster.
He's faster than Tom Brady.
Yeah, Mac Jones is faster. He ran a 4.8 something. I think Tom Brady was much
Flying.
5s. Yeah.
4.8. Moving.
And your guy Justin Fields ran a 4.4.
4.4.
That's a receiver, wide receiver type speed anyway. But
yeah. All right. Well, let's finish up this top 10.
Number 10, Dallas. Right.
How about them Cowboys?
How about them Cowboys? They got a great offense.
Peace, Nana. This is your team. My grandma, her team is the Dallas Cowboys. So they're up. Hopefully they can turn around.
Yeah, well, they got their offense. They got their quarterback in place.
Do they?
Oh, yeah. I like their quarterback.
Oh, yeah. I mean, he got paid.
Yeah.
Coming off of an injury like that?
Yeah.
Man.
Dak's a great ambassador for that team. On the field, off the field. He's
great ambassador for the league.
Yeah. But I think the Cowboys don't have a cornerback. So Patrick Surtain of Alabama, that's the guy. He would fit them. Any cornerback would fit them because they have none right about now. So I think that's an area of need. They wouldn't mind having J.C. Horn. He would be good. And another guy who was ranked real high at one point was Caleb Farley of Virginia Tech. He opted out.
V-Tech always got corners, man.
This is Virginia Tech. And then what happened was in March he had back surgery. So, and this is like his second minor back surgery. There's such a thing as a minor back surgery?
Nah.
No? Okay.
No,
Anytime
I never heard of that. Like, you getting back surgery, that's, he's going to raise some eyebrows and spark some questions.
Yes,
but
yes.
Sertan, huh?
Yep, Sertan.
Cowboys, yeah, they do have quite a bit of things to fix, I think, especially on that defensive side.
Yeah.
Offensively, I think they're okay.
Yeah. Offense is great.
They're solid.
Yeah.
They're solid.
And plus the division that they're in, Philadelphia is kind of look like a train wreck going on right there. The New York Giants are pretty good, though. They're coming on. Redskins, they need a quarterback, I think, right?
No, the football team.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're right. Washington football team. I'm glad I didn't say San Diego Chargers, though.
Yeah. No, it's all that stuff. That's just like history, man. It's crazy.
Yeah.
The Washington football team. I hope they figure out a mascot. But we'll see, though. We'll see.
Yeah.
But Curtis, man, this top 10 is interesting, and again, your guys' pick.
That's going to be the turning.
Is going to be what stirs the pot.
Exactly.
And that was our top 10. The rest of the picks here we're going to go through. But Curtis, thanks so much for that deep dive insight into the top 10 of this year's NFL draft. All right, now that we're done with our top 10 picks, we dove deep into details there, Curtis. We're going to finish up the first round. So we got 22 picks left to go. We're just going to sort of give you the rest of Curtis's picks. If there's a debate, some questions, we're going to do so. So we are at number 11, which is the New York Giants. Curtis, and you got Rashawn Slater.
Yes, Northwestern. He made his name blocking basically Chase Young. If you look at the videos and stuff, he's kind of handles Chase Young, doesn't let him get to the quarterback. So
who's a
rookie
force?
Rookie of the year.
Rookie of the year.
Yes.
Number 12, Philadelphia. Here he is.
Devonta Smith. The guy you compared him to was another Eagle.
Yeah, Desean
Jackson. There you go.
So, we will see number 13, the L.A. Chargers.
Elijah Vera Tucker. He's a guard tackle. Played tackle for USC this year, but he's played guard also. Got to protect Justin Herbert, man.
You got to. Speaking of Justin Herbert, that dude had a year.
Yes, number 1 Duck. So
he had a year.
Great, yes.
Number 14, the Minnesota Vikings.
I got Micah Parsons, linebacker, possibly the best. Some people call him the best defensive player in this draft. So.
Yeah. Okay. Here it is. Number 15. The New England Patriots. I see your pick here. Go ahead.
I got Justin Fields, number 15. I should say Justin Fields, New England. I should say might not be picking at that spot.
Right.
They could be trading up to get Justin Fields. Or Mac Jones.
Yeah, I see Mac Jones in New England.
That's what you
see. There's something about, again, we talk about his mold. Right now they're like, oh, we miss you, Tom. We miss you, Tom. We can't get Tom back, but we can get somebody pretty dang close to that mold. And I think Mac Jones fits that mold. 16, we got Arizona.
That's why Caleb Farley. He's the cornerback that I talked about, had the back issues, but the Cardinals don't have any cornerback. Patrick Peterson left the team already, so he's not there. So they need to fortify that.
That is tough. And that dude's an all-pro defensive back. Number 17, the ninth island.
Yes.
Las Vegas Raiders.
Yes. I got the linebacker from Notre Dame, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. So say that 10 times.
You pronounce that like, man, that's good. How many times do you have to practice that name?
I don't know, like Murayama maybe. But
that's amazing.
Yeah, he's a linebacker. He's only like 220 though. That's the only thing that
speed though.
He covers
the game
everybody.
is speed.
He covers everybody. He, guys in wheel routes, the receivers downfield. He's all over the field.
And I think that's the biggest difference in today's game.
Yeah.
Curtis, is the speed of these linebackers.
Yeah.
Back in the day, big, fill holes, okay. But now these running backs are faster, right? Sometimes some of these linebackers are so athletic. These outside linebackers, they got them bracketing or covering some slots and doing some work. So they got to be very athletic. They are athletic guys. They just ended up being the bigger body out of the group of friends.
Yeah.
Right? So, they're just as athletic as some of these receivers and running backs, which is amazing. Okay, 18, Miami Dolphins.
I have Najee Harris. Can you imagine Tua with Najee Harris and Jamar Chase?
Oh.
You got to be so happy if you're the Dolphins. They already had a really good defense and they had really good special teams.
They're winning just give them the division. Just go ahead and give them
well, the
the
Buffalo
division.
Bills are there, so.
Yeah, but man, this dude Najee Harris is the truth.
Oh,
He was
I
like
that.
a man amongst boys out there.
Yeah. Yeah, hurdling guys and catching
He
balls
can
out of the
catch balls
backfield.
out the backfield. He's like a two-way player, right?
Yeah.
Like if you can be a running back that can catch the ball out of the backfield, number one, you're more valuable. Two, you're going to stay in the game. You're not going to be a first down, second down back, come out, the third down back comes in. You're that guy.
Yeah.
You are that guy. Like Zeke Elliott, right? He can catch it, he can run it,
He can block.
he can block.
Yes.
Like I think that's a pretty good comparison, wouldn't you think?
Yeah.
Zeke to Najee Harris?
Yeah.
Okay. At number 19, the Washington football team.
Yes, Christian Darrisaw, offensive tackle. This is Virginia Tech, another big guy who's rated slightly below the other two guys. Penny Sewell and, the Rashawn Slater. But he's up there, though.
Okay. At 20, the Chicago Bears.
Christian Barrymore. He's a defensive tackle. Weak year for defensive tackles. But he's like the best of all the defensive tackles. So,
Yeah,
that's
he's getting drafted in the first round. So
yeah.
he's like, hey, I don't care. I'm going at number 20. Weak year. I'm at number 20. Thank you.
Yeah.
Number 21, the Indianapolis Colts.
I got Jalen Phillips, an interesting guy. He actually retired once. It was at UCLA, one of the top recruits. He was forced to medically retire because of concussions. He might have had 3 already. And then later on, he gets in a moped accident. Then he has surgery on his wrist. So he's like missing like 4 bones in his wrist or something like that. But then he decides to play again. He goes to Miami and he starts there. And he had a great workout and it looks like he's all healed up. So he could be somebody who might ascend because he's one of the best edge rushers around.
Just think about that. A guy that's had that much go bad in the injury bug and still getting an opportunity, right, to get drafted in the first round.
Yeah.
And out of all these potential guys, that just goes to show how good he is.
Yeah.
Okay, we are at 22.
Yep, Tennessee.
The Tennessee Titans.
I got Eric Stoltz, Georgia cornerback. He's run at like a 4.25 40. So, and he's pretty good side speed. And Tennessee lost all their cornerbacks. Malcolm Butler is gone. And even their safety, Kevin Byard said, kind of like all alone now. He's the only guy returning.
Yeah,
Everybody's gone.
Yeah,
all
gone.
his friends
And on the defensive side, Curtis, when you're a safety, your job is to communicate, right, with the other guys. And you get that camaraderie, you get that chemistry. And you lose that, you literally feel like you're on an island just... And then it's like, okay, a new guy comes in, I got to teach him. It makes it makes it a little bit harder. And then the defenses that are good year in and year out, they have that core. They have their core group and they stay together. So the communication, it's clockwork, right? Clockwork. And that's big. Yeah. So hopefully they can build around that and get some sort of chemistry. All right, at 23, the New York Jets.
It's Kwity Paye from Michigan. He's like a solid defensive end, not a pure pass rusher at this time, but he can hold the edge, and he runs at like a 4.5 40. So
for the end, that is moving.
And the Jets, Robert Saleh's a defensive coach. He probably wants a defensive guy, So there you go. I think that's the pick for the Jets.
Okay. And at 24, the Pittsburgh Steelers.
Oh man, they're going to be so disappointed that Najee Harris is not there.
Oh, yeah, because James Conner signed with the Cardinals.
Yes, and Najee Harris is perfect for Pittsburgh. Perfect.
Could Pittsburgh trade up?
Oh man, yeah, they might need a quarterback too in the future. So
Yeah,
but,
I mean, let's talk about that. How many more years does Big Ben have?
yeah, like
in him?
1 or 2, maybe 1. I don't know. He was kind of at the end of the year, kind of floundering. So.
Is there a quarterback that's left right now that they could pick up that's worthy of, or they wait till next year? Years?
Kyle Trask is one that I would have to trade down for, though. I wouldn't pick him here.
No,
I'd trade down a little bit.
Maybe you trade up to get like a Najee Harris, and then you pick up a quarterback maybe in the second round.
Yeah.
You know, somebody that's not a first round pick, but still has the quality to be able to be a starter in the NFL, right?
So anyway, I have Pittsburgh taking the second best running back, Travis Etienne of Clemson. He was the guy who was so fast.
Oh yeah,
can catch.
Yeah, no, for sure, beast. Okay, we are at 25, the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Safety. I got Trevor Mooring. Now, he turned out to be one of my favorite guys I watched when I watched films. I really like this guy. I was hoping that when the Niners, before they traded to number 3, when they were sitting at number 12, I said, man, just go back a few, like to 15, and draft this guy. This guy's a playmaker. I like him. He's one of my favorite guys.
Okay, and 26, the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah, Jamin Davis, linebacker, Kentucky. He's ascended really, really fast because he's got size, speed, you know, and it ran a 4.37. Wow.
Yeah, and the Cleveland Browns, man, they're for real. I think they're for real.
They got everything. And they got a quarterback on a rookie contract. That's the big thing. It's like next year when he starts making money, then you have to decide what all these other fringe players we might have to cut, and then all of a sudden your depth goes away.
Yep. The business side of the game. When it comes to that money and shuffling things around, hey, you got to pay this guy. Well, you gotta cut some other loose ends to build up some cap space, right? To keep your franchise guy. All right, at 27, the Baltimore Ravens.
Zaven Collins, another big guy he's a playmaker. You see, when I watched videos of him, he's kind of like all over the field. He rushes the end, he drops back in coverage, he does a lot of stuff, and he's got the size too. Like 260 pounds, linebacker. Good.
At 28, the New Orleans Saints.
Greg Newsome, cornerback, Northwestern. There's another guy with a 4.3 something speed, and he's got good size and everything. I think New Orleans needs another cornerback, so I'm opposite Lattimore. So.
Okay. All right. 29, the Green Bay Packers.
Another quarterback they're going to draft. No, that was last year. That was last year when they got Jordan Love.
Jordan Love, man. Imagine that guy. Come in, Aaron Rodgers, MVP. He's going to be sitting for a few more years.
And not only that, but I don't think he was active for any of the games this year, so he wasn't even like the second string quarterback. So, I mean... Is
he a guy that you can see maybe getting traded?
Or, I don't know, or maybe he's a bust. I don't know. But when I was doing last year's mock draft, I said, you got to get a safety. They should have gotten a safety, and you know where that safety ended up? Tampa Bay. Yeah. In the second round. That's where
defense wins championships, man. I'm an offensive guy.
Yeah.
But hey, you keep the team out of the end zone. You hold them when it matters. You win.
Yeah.
Right?
So anyway, I got the Green Bay Packers taking Kadarius Toney. Now
receiver.
He was number 1, and Kyle Pitts was 84, and that's the one Nick Saban says we couldn't guard number 1 and number 84. So that was this guy. Yes.
Okay, and Buffalo at 30.
They're looking for defensive ends. They have Jerry Hughes, but he's kind of getting up there in age. So I think that Jason Owe of Penn State, another guy who ran a great fast time in the 40. But let me tell you about the 40 times. It's kind of the scout that I've been talking to all this time. Hey, they run downhill in Penn State. They're 40. When they run their 40,
slightly downhill?
It's slightly downhill. So their 40 times are faster. How's that? You like that, huh? They don't run it uphill. They only run it in one direction, slightly downhill.
And that's on their field?
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's why these pro days and all these times, you got to kind of figure, it might be hedged a little bit.
Well, that wind direction, there's a lot of things that.
Yeah, like they said, Stanford and Cal, they don't have indoor facilities. So I think one of them, maybe Cal, when they had a pro day, it was raining outside. But you go to places in the South, all indoor facilities, all on track facilities. So they're running, that's why their times could be, improved immensely.
Okay, where are we at?
31, Kansas City. Hey, you saw
31. Like, what else do these guys need?
They need offensive linemen.
Yeah.
Yes.
Patrick Mahomes just running around.
Yeah.
Right?
So I got Tevin Jenkins, Oklahoma State offensive tackle. You saw what happens when Kansas City loses offensive tackles. They're not good.
They had 2.
Yes.
Didn't they have three starting linemen out?
Yes. Yeah, 3 starting. I think one of the guard. What happens was the movement caused like at least 3 people to move. Losing that left tackle Fisher, who was out, and Schwartz, the right tackle. But Schwartz was out for a while already. So when they lost Fisher, it caused like a guard to move to tackle, another guy to come in at guard, another tackle to move. So it was.
Yeah, and you can't have
mess.
that at that type of game.
Yeah.
Against the GOAT, Tom Brady. You just, So, yeah. Well, they're gonna shore things up with that pick. And closing out the first round, Super Bowl champs, just talked about them, Tampa Bay.
Yeah, a lot of people say Kyle Trask at that spot, but I'm going with Azeez Ojulari, who's a rush end from Georgia. He's a real fast guy around the end.
Just adding more to that defense.
When you ahead, which is Tampa Bay is going to be ahead a lot, you got to rush that passer. So that's why, rush this passer.
I like it. I like it. Well, look, Curtis, man, I want to thank you so much for joining us here on the CO2 Rundown, doing this mock draft. As you said, hey, things could change on the daily. That's what the mock draft is about. And I want to thank you all for tuning into this special segment. The draft is on Thursday, so I want you to do us a favor. Go ahead and like. If you're watching this on YouTube, go ahead and subscribe, comments, all that. We want to know if you agree or disagree with our picks, or if you got something totally different. Go ahead and leave that in the comments. Thank you guys so much. Love the support. And Curtis, thanks again, man.
Thank you.
Aloha.